Welcome, everyone, to WhoDooTV. I am coming to you live. It is October 9th. We're talking new comic books for the week of October 10th, 2018. It is a happy new comic book day. I just want to know how everyone is out there is doing. Hope everyone is having a great week. Hope everybody had a great New York Comic Con, and they got some of those news that came out. A bunch of news came out over that period. And yeah, but it's me. I'm Hoosier. It's just me. We're kind of the format where it's going to be a little quicker rundown on Wednesdays to kind of give us an idea of what is coming out this coming week. First off, start off this show with somewhat sad news to pay some respects to Scott Wilson, the actor who played Herschel in the TV show The Walking Dead, had passed away. The sad news about this is that they had recently announced that he was going to be in some new episodes that were to come out, just like a day or the day of his passing. They had announced that, and I believe it had to do something with Rick's upcoming passing that's about to happen. But it is really sad news to hear that he was going to be on the show and that he had passed away. Good actor. He's done tons of things. And of course, what he did at Walking Dead with Herschel is really sad. Danny Millhouse, thanks for joining on. Live chat going on, guys. So if you want to jump in on that. Tomorrow marks the 15th year that The Walking Dead issue number 1 was put out. So there is a bunch of blind bags. There is a bunch of issues that will be sold to celebrate this 15th issue. From number 1 to just name it, there's a ton of key issues that will be reprinted to celebrate The Walking Dead. It's a little bitty comic that some people have liked prior. So Walking Dead coming out 15 years. It has been a staple in the comic book industry for some time. What Robert Kirkman does is amazing. He has put out continued great characters, great stories. And if you're into the show, you're probably into the comic. You should be into the show. But I just wish more people that were in the show would read the comic, because there's just some great pieces there that are told differently. And that's what I like about the two, that they're able to kind of pull each other apart and yet be told in different ways. So, but 15 years, and I believe, I don't remember what book is out. One of the hardcovers is out. So if you're a hardcover collector, a new Walking Dead hardcover is out this week. Also, one of the cool things that we saw at New York Comic Con was the reveal of Batwoman, Ruby Rose as Batwoman, and what she looks like. And I'm subtly impressed with this outfit. I think it works for Batwoman. It's very spandexy type of thing, but ultimately it works for Batwoman. Ruby Rose with her wig. I guess that's what I want to see, is what she looks like when she is not in the Bat costume. Are they going to keep her with her normal hair, or are they going to keep the red hair and just see if that's just a suit that they're putting her in for now, or where that goes? Moose is online. Thanks for jumping on, Moose. But yeah, so it's interesting to see where she goes. I am excited. She's coming out to have a reveal soon in a crossover event. And yeah, and then the previews. They showed some previews of Arrow and how he's in prison and the journey he's going on in prison. Catch up with that. I think the premiere for that is in another couple days, next week, I believe. So if you are an Arrowverse person, check them out. I guess one of my wishes now, due to the upcoming DC universe and this show that I'm showing you now that's coming out soon, and that is DC's Titans. Some great trailers with more Hawk and Dove in it, which I'm excited to see. Like Hawk and Dove, Minka Kelly is awesome as Dove. Well, from what we've seen. And then to just see these characters, would be fun to have that crossover universe with like Arrowverse, with Flash, with the DC Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. It's always nice to see that there's more, but this is coming out. I believe it's the 12th is the date that this is coming out. So if you have not got your membership for DC Universe and you want it for this show, get it. However, I don't believe, don't mark my words, but if I am right, let me know, that they're not going to come out with them all at once, that this is going to be a slowly rolled out show. It's not going to be like Netflix where they give you everything at once and it's, take all, all you could eat, and then you could cancel the membership. Because if that's the way it is, I'm not going to be honest, I would probably buy it and then cancel the membership. However, yeah, I still like it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks like a cool show. Going from there. And the new segment that we've had a couple weeks now, Trade Wait No More. We're going to start this off with the Jeff Lemire book. This is the final volume of Royal City. It's a third volume, third collection of it. I believe it's a 14 complete contained 14 issue story. This is the final arc of it. It has been a great slice of life with a little supernatural, just a great all the way story that Lemire's told. Surprise, surprise, it's a good Lemire story, but I think it's worth it. So that's that. Going back to the Titans question, Not My Name basically says, yeah, Titans will be every Friday night from what he understands. Yeah, I think that's what I heard too, is they're going to do one a week, just like the way most shows come out. But I'm at the point sometimes, and we're in the middle of trade wait. And it's a great question. It's a great thought right now to think about since we're here. Totally not on the books. But how do you like to read? Do you like it like your Netflix to where you can get a trade and read a whole arc, a whole season, basically watch a whole season marathon like you do on TV shows? Or do you want to have them weekly segments? Do you want to have a episode here, episode here, episode here? Or do you want to sit back and Netflix it and binge watch a show, a book? Do you want to read a full arc? Do you want to get the trade? I know that's feels like it's kind of been the way we've been trained now with the way digital is. And trades have taken off as well. So I think it's different for myself with different books. There's certain books that I want weekly, and then there's certain ones that I do want to wait. So it makes me, kind of iffy on both sides which way I want. So Not My Name basically says monthly. He don't like trades for some reason, never did. He was probably trained watching weekly episodes of Full House, and no, but that's how we were growing up, right? We all had to sit back and wait. There was no DVR. There was no Netflix. It was either you are putting in your VHS and you're timing it right to get your show if you missed, or you sat and waited. You sat and watched it, and then you didn't go back to it because there was not the technology we have these days. Another one, speaking of trade, and this is one that I want to go back and read in trade. I want to read this whole story in arc form. And this is going to be the Coalition. This is Ninja K, Christos Gage, Juan Jose Reap, reaping it up, they say. And just this story has been phenomenal with the bringing of the Jonin, getting some more of this Jonin that we learned in the first arc, and now some more of these other characters like Costly and just the ton of groups that are connected with this story has been great. The Dying One, Linton March, and yet now we're getting team ups with, you have Livewire, Punk Mambo, Dr. Mirage, and Ginger. All around cool team up book that Christos Gage has put together. I'm going to speak some more about my thoughts on the Ninja K because there might be a spoiler there. Something else may be there. So Moose says he doesn't mind the wait, but if there's something very enjoyable about having an entire arc in your hands, it's kind of my thought too. And then Nick basically says if they're serialized like Saga or Rat Queens, I like waiting, but you have to do Valiant monthly. That's kind of the way I am. Yeah. And you mentioned Saga. Look what I just picked up. Boom. Got me the whole thing so I could have it monthly and have it all in, or monthly, have it all in one sitting. So a little bit of a Saga there to go. So, but yeah, there's some stories like this that I want in a full setting. Yeah, just kind of preference, but like I like my Valiants monthly. One that you get no option this week, and a creator duo that is phenomenal, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, their graphic novel. And so this is made for graphic novel. There is no episodic to it. It is a full contained story. My heroes have always been junkies. So this is one we don't get an option to get to read it all, and they say it's a beautiful hardcover. This is a cool story about a coming-of-age girl who is basically, she has this fetish or this view, and basically likes addiction, right? Her mother died early in her life, so there's this view and this connection that she has with addiction that kind of connects her to her mom, and it's played this role in her life, and it's led her into rehab. And this is going to get her to open up some weird doors. How deep and how dark can addiction get? And where will this take this young gal as she's learning more about the dark corners of the world, what can happen with the world? But if you're into Brubaker, which you should be, if you're into Sean Phillips, which you should be, and you like Kill or Be Killed, you like the Fade Out, Criminal, you name it. These guys have done a whole lot of their own creator-owned stuff. And this is one that I'm definitely going to be picking up. And that is My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. I think, like I said, again, I think it's one that it's worth taking a look. And then call out a couple number ones that are coming. And this one is The Devil Within. Don't call out a whole lot of Black Mass titles, but this is one of them. This one's written by somebody named Stephanie Phillips. And then the art is by Man House, who has done Witchblade. So this story is about a couple who move into a house, and they are starting to experience some disturbances. One of them is. And where is this? It's a supernatural. It's a thriller. It's a paranoia thriller story. Perfect timing for it to come out with being October. With Black Mask has done some good books. I think the one thing some people fear about with Black Mask is, will it come out again next month on time? I know a lot of people waited for like 4 Kids Walking the Bank. That was one that took a while for that series to come out. This one really excites me. This one is a Aftershock book, and this one is called the Last Race to Space #1. What kind of intrigues me by this is who's writing it. It's Peter Calloway. Peter Calloway has done some TV shows recently, like he has done Legion. He's done Under the Dome. But one that I recently enjoyed a lot was Cloak and Dagger. I thought that was a great show. Marvel had announced that they're going to do a season 2 for that. I watched that, I believe, on Hulu is the source that I watched that. I liked it. I think if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. But this is the Last Race of Space, and it's about an anomaly happens in space, and they're left to try to figure out what it is to save the United States, to save the world. And a millionaire and his basically self-funded space foundation is set to go fix it. But there's also another aerospace competitor that's his arch rival that's set to kind of go against him on this. So it sounds like a couple different stories. Some subplots are going to be going on in this. Aftershock has done continually does good books. And so with Peter Calloway doing that and what he's done on the shows that he's done prior, I believe that would be a great call out to get if you're looking for a new #1. Another #1, this is probably the most excited book I have for this month, probably, and that's Murder Falcon. Daniel Warren Johnson is a madman. He is great. He does some awesome work. What he did with Extremity was phenomenal, and this totally changes his direction. It is it's a lot more lighthearted, and it's about Murder Falcon and his buddy Jake. And in order for Murder Falcon to gain the powers that Murder Falcon needs to help destroy monsters that have come to the world, is he needs Jake to shred his guitar. And that is Murder Falcon's power source, is Jake's shredding ability. Knowing Daniel Warren Johnson's art, I'm going to say it's going to be pretty cool because he will put on some cool stuff. It is kind of a, lighthearted of a story from what I believe, from what I've been told. It is supposed to be funny. And yes. And then Chris, yes, the Judas Priest homage on that cover B is pretty dang awesome. Yeah. So if you can get some Daniel Warren Johnson stuff, go from there. All right. And so that is that. Then we're going on to some of the weekly pools. A story that continues to do well. Oblivion Song number 8. Nathan Cole continues to do things, and there are lasting repercussions that come after them. Dominoes fall one place, and they keep going, and you don't know the effects with them till later on. If you haven't read the first part, the recent trade came out last month, and the first arc, I recommend it. I believe it's another one of Kirkman's amazing stories. Speaking of Kirkman, one of the news that came out of New York Comic Con was that Outcast will be on its final 12 issues. So we'll be done with Outcast in 12 issues. That will be done. And Die continues as one of his new ones. So we lost Invincibles. Now we're on Oblivion Song. We're losing Outcast. Now we're going to be on a little bit of Die. So he's still replacing it. He's still helping us out with some new things. Danny gives me his list here. He's got Animosity, which is another one of those Aftershock books that's amazing. Some DC books with Superman and Supergirl. He's got Birthright on there, Skybound book. That's phenomenal as well. And X-23 number 5. So he does have a Marvel call out. And I don't have it on my list here, but I would check out Spider-Geddon with Christos Gage. Christos Gage, a great writer. So that would be my Marvel call out there. A book that I read number 1, and I was pleasantly surprised with this, is Bully Wars. I believe this is done by Scott Young, who he does some really cool art. It's kind of, younger feel to it, Scotty Young, and or he's the writer, and then Aaron Conley. But it's a bully who's getting bullied. It's like freshman year. It's that middle school bully who finally gets to be a freshman in high school, and the bigger bullies are there, and he learns that there's a bully war. And this bully war is invitation only. But this bully needs some help. So who does he call upon? The geeks that he once bullied in middle school. So I think it's a fun, lighthearted book. It does have some cool social commentary with bullies and how there's always a bigger, badder bully than you. So I kind of dig that concept. I think it might be a good story for it's a young adults title. So Bully Wars number 2. Number 1 obviously was out last month, so get it while it's still in early. Another book that we've called out before is Christopher Sabella's Crowded. This is it's been a good story. This is number 3, so you're still catching it early on in the game. And, they talk about how Rebel Wilson has bought the rights to this to make a movie. And Oni Press is going to be helping out Christopher with this project. In this arc, or this story of the first arc, we're going to get some top dog serial killers, murderers, headhunters, I guess is what you would call them, coming for the $2 million Reaper Fund that is out on the main character's head to go after her. So it is pretty interesting. Charlie's the main character there, and we're still trying to get some more vibes of where this is going. And but all around, it has been a fun story so far. And one that I saw Danny had also on here. It looks like Nick also had that one on there too, Crowded. But this one is The Weatherman, number 5, continuing with Jodie Lupin and Nathan Fox in their fun-filled Mars story. What can I say about this book? Nathan Bright is a interesting character, and he's got Agent Cross who's there to help him. And we don't know if this guy is an innocent guy, if this is the guy with blood of millions on his hands. What is it? Who is it? Yeah, so it's unsure of where's next. So we cannot figure out what it is yet with Nathan Bright. but the story continues to impress. I think that's going to be one of those ones that you look back on in a year or so and you want to fully get. And then another book, and then Danny says we forgot about Oblivion Song. Hey, you know I didn't, man. I called that book out. And now we got Ninja K, number 12. So Christos Gage continuing on his journey with Ninjak, with Colin King. This time he's doing with Robert Delatorre. This story is kind of basically he's trying to save the Eternal Warrior. He's trying to find Glad, and he is trying to basically free him from the Dying One and get his friend back. It's a lot of journey. It's a lot of kind of sci-fi science experiment type things going on in here. And this one is called The Fallout. I said I was going to talk about this one a little earlier than when I was talking about it earlier. So a little bit on this book. I love Christos Gage. I love this book. It's been one of my favorite books so far. That's out, not so far. It's been one of my favorite books that's out right now. And the story was great. The very first arc was phenomenal, bringing up the idea of this ninja program. And then the other one is the idea of ninja program came out in Ninja K number 1, actually with Matt Kent, but it's kind of uncovered a lot with that, and I've enjoyed it. And then the Coalition arc was really awesome to see that connection with Colin and Livewire and just where it's all progressed. And now we're getting this arc. And why I say I want to talk about this is, and it's sad that this book is ending because I think it might be remembered more of the book of what it could have been. Like, what could this have been if it was longer? What could this have been if this was a 20-issue run, a 24-issue run? Or even, gosh, would you imagine a Venditti, 50-issue run with Christos Gage on Ninja K and what could happen? And I think that's sadly because that's kind of how I feel like I'm going to be thinking about this story. The Ninja K run, Christos Gage is what could have been, what more could have happened from that, where could this story have gotten? While it's really, really good, though, it's kind of sad to hear that, to think about that. But it is good. We still got, I believe, 2 more issues. It goes to 14. So it'll be a nice hardcover section, 14-issue hardcover. I hope comes out soon with it to get a full collection for those guys that like to read it monthly and then like to have it all in one sitting. That's how I enjoy my Valiant books. I want it monthly, and then I want to go back and read it all in one sitting when it's a big section like a deluxe hardcover. But yeah, that's kind of it. And that's the question I have for everybody here today. I know you guys that joined us live. Thank you, Danny, Nick, Moose, Not My Name. Just guys, thanks for jumping on. And those of you who catch it later, let us know how you like your books. How do you like to read your books? Do you want them all in one sitting, or do you want them monthly? Or is there certain books that you care to have monthly and other ones that doesn't matter as much? Put those down in the comments below. And I want to thank everybody for jumping on. And we'll get back to you next week for another quick rundown of what comics are coming out next week. Thanks. Have a good night.